let's go ahead and get started. Here we are going to have lecture 1. In this lecture, we are going to have introduction to surveying. So what do we do in surveying? So in surveying, we are going to have measurement. We are going to measure the distances, we are going to measure the angles, and we are going to measure the positions. And that is going to be either on or near the surface of the earth. So what we do is measuring distances, angles, and positions. Okay, and in order to do that, we have many instruments or devices. We have the steel tape in order to measure the horizontal distances and the slopes. We have the theodolite, through which we are going to measure the vertical and the horizontal angles. We have the total station. This device, it can measure the horizontal distances, and also it can measure the vertical and the horizontal angle. So the total station, it can do the job of the steel tape and the job of the theodolite. We have the level. We use this one in order to know the difference in heights or in elevation. It's very important device. And also we have the GPS, through which you are going to know the position of or the coordinate of a point. So we are going to use all of this device in order to measure distances, angles, and positions. So why do we need surveying? In order to answer this question, we are gonna go through this example, which is construction of a building. So let's say that I want to construct a building for a certain site. So what is needed to construct a building? Before construction of the building, I need to know the site selection. I need to select a certain site, okay, a certain area. Then I need to know the topography of that area. Through the topography, I'm going to know the elevation of that area. Maybe the site is located on a mountain, okay, or any other condition. So I need to know the topography so that I know the nature of the site. Then after I know the site and I know the map, the topography of the site, I will be able to make the planning. Okay, so I'm going to plan in order to construct that building, and the plan should meet the requirement. So now I need to transfer the building into the site. Now I draw everything. The architect imagine the building, draw the floor and the sections and everything. And then it has been delivered to the structural engineer or civil engineer. Also, he have done his job. Okay, he draw the foundations, he draw the beams, the columns, everything. But everything now it's on the paper. We need to transfer the design to be assigned on the site. So how we are going to do that? This is where the surveying is needed to be used. Okay, through the surveying, I'm going to transfer what have been written or what we have been designed. I'm going to transfer this into the site. Okay, so in the surveying in construction, they are the first people on any construction site. They are going to make the measurement and the mapping of the land as well. These primary measurements are then used by the architects to understand and make the most of the unique landscape when designing. So without the knowledge of the topography, which is the map is going to be drawn by the surveyors, the architect will not be able to make his design. Okay, then the civil engineers make structural design accurately and safely, ensuring buildings not only fit with the landscape but are also able to be constructed. Okay, so the surveying is very important for the architects so that they know the landscape, and also it's very important for the civil engineers so that they are going to transfer what would have been designed to be assigned on the site. So for example, let's say here we have a structural drawing for foundation and column layout. Here I have foundation and I have columns, okay? I think most of you took AutoCAD, so you are familiar with this kind of drawing. Okay, so this has been designed by the structural engineer. Now I need to transfer all of this drawing to be done on the actual site. So I need to know the corners of the site, which a process should be done by the surveyor. He know how to measure all of this. He know how to locate the corners of the site. Then he are going to draw it like that on the site. Then he are going to precisely locate the position of the foundations. Okay, and then I'm going to be able to cast the foundation and the column. Okay, so let's say that uh, all of this work has not been done precisely. What will happen? We are going to have problems like this. Like you can see that here we have lousy job. The column is not in the center of the foundations because of the poor measurement. So through the surveyor, we'll be able to precisely put all of this in the wanted places. Otherwise, you are going to have problems like that. Also, in order to build a bridge or construct a bridge, we are not going to start from one side, because if you are going to start from one side, the project is going to take a lot of time. So we are going to start from the both sides. And the measurement should be correct. The leveling, the location, the position, everything should be correct and precise. Okay, otherwise we are going to have a problem like that. The bridge is not going to be connected at the midpoint. Okay, so if we have done lousy job in surveying, we are going to have problem like that. Also, you can have also problem like that. The column is not aligned with the other columns here. Okay, so if the surveying job has not been done precisely, we are going to have problems like this. So surveying is about measurement distances, measurement angles, measurement positions. So why we need surveying? Again, surveying in construction, in simple terms, is to ensure that everything is in the right place. So in simple words, surveying has been existed to make sure that everything is in the right place on the right alignment, where they are intended to be. Why? Because we don't want conflict, especially in property line. Okay, you are familiar with the property line, the line between you and your neighbor. So if we have poor measurements, then we are going to have a conflict with your neighbors. Also, we don't want unblumped columns like this one here. Okay. Also, we don't want to have misaligned structure like this one here. Okay. So we want the elevation to be corrected. We want to have correct estimates. We know that estimation is very important for many jobs in order to know the cost and many other things. So without the surveying, all of this would not be possible. So again, what is surveying? Surveying is the art and the science of measuring distances, angles, and position on or near the surface of the Earth. So is it an art, surveying? Do you consider surveying to be an art? Yes, because only a surveyor who has a full understanding of surveying techniques will be able to determine the most efficient methods required to obtain optimal result over a wide variety of surveying problems. We have a lot of problems, we have a lot of method. Only the surveyor who has a full understanding will be able to choose the best method to the job. Is it scientific? Yes, it's scientific because we are going to use mathematical techniques to analyze the field data. Okay, so the accuracy and the reliability depends on understanding of the scientific principles. So surveying is an art and it's a science of measuring. We need to know that surveying, it has a long history. Okay, very long history. Okay, surveying had its beginning in Egypt about 1400s BC, mainly because the land along the river, the Nile River. Here we have a Nile River, and at that time the people live around the river here, because we have the water, we have the green land. So people at that era live around the river. and their land and their houses is going to be located here. But we have a problem with the Nile River at a certain season. The River Nile is going to flood. Okay, so after the flooding, we are not be able to precisely to know the location of the lands for the people, and at that time they used to have a taxation system. They are going to charge you with the money for what you are going to own. Okay, so that make problems for them. So what they do, we have Egyptian surveyors. At that time, they called rope stretchers because they use a rope with a knot. So they use were created to relocate the land division. They are going to know after the flooding which place is belonging to the people. Okay, so they made a measurement with the ropes having knots at unit distance. So they have a rope and then you have a knot, and they consider the distance is the unit, okay, through which they are going to measure the locations. And also we know that in that era, we have a lot of monuments. And in order to build all of these monuments, we need surveying so that we can precisely put the location of the building and the location of the materials. So I'm going to stop here. If you have any questions about this, I hope this lecture is going to clarify the importance of surveying and what is surveying. So I'm going to stop here so that if you have any questions,